Story 1. Don't leave anything in the kitchen sink. If you want to temporarily store dirty dishes, do it anywhere else but do not block the sink. Story 2. Don't wake me up before 8 a.m. unless the house is on fire, someone is breaking in, or Ryan Reynolds is at the door. Story 3. I have agreed to house you here due to very specific circumstances for a few days. After that time, you may no longer be here. Quick story. I never would agree to a temporary stay, but I did once for a former coworker in a specific situation for 3 days. It worked out just fine, and I was glad I could help despite my initial strong trepidation. Story 4. Don't stir your coffee or tea with my sugar spoon. Clean the spoon in your mouth and then put it back in the sugar. Please do not butter or spread peanut butter on your toast. Lick the knife clean, and then leave it on my counter. I mean, lick the knife clean, not the toast, although that would be gross too. I really need better friends. Story 5. No uninvited guests. Someone laughed at me for this, but seriously, I don't want a stranger in my home. No exceptions. Story 6. Do not have mail sent here, and do not stay for more than 2 weeks. This can be used to qualify for residency, and you will not be able to get them out. Story 7. They alone have been allowed to stay with me. I don't want to come home to random people in my house, especially boyfriends or girlfriends, as this seems to be considered an exception. People can be quite bold at times, like allowing someone to stay when they are not even home. Who is taking a shower in my bathroom? Story 8. Aside from the obvious guidelines, do not engage in illegal activities, do not use my home as your business address, and avoid loud music. Please refrain from bothering me at my home office unless it is an emergency, such as a fire. Story 9. Don't open and eat my gelato from the container with a spoon that I specifically said was the only thing you couldn't eat, and then leave the spoon for me to wash as well. That is absolutely ridiculous. I would have been fine if she had the decency to at least scoop it into a bowl. Story 10. Do not go near the dangerous hole. If you fall into the clearly marked dangerous hole, you will get hurt, and I will not feel bad because do not go near the dangerous hole is my #1 rule. Story 11. Do not urinate in the cat litter. I had a friend who did that, and the level of the urine was an inch above the litter. Don't make my cat step in your urine. He's gone now. All my stories end like that. It's as if I went to school at Sunnydale High or Hogwarts. Story 12. I am currently recovering from major emergency surgery at a friend's house. I am trying to be a good guest, but I also feel quite weak. I am making sure the bathroom stays clean, wrapping any bloody bandages in toilet paper and rinsing out the tub. I keep asking if I can use or eat certain items, but they keep telling me to stop asking and just do it. Today, I had the energy to wipe down the stovetop and countertops. Is there anything else I should try to do? I don't want to overstay my welcome, as I hope to go home this weekend, and I want to be a considerate house guest. Also, do you have any tips for a thoughtful thank you gift for them? Story 13. Big rule: food and beverages, including cocoa, coffee, and wine, should stay in the kitchen or dining area and away from computers. Story 14. No shoes, dirty feet, or food on the carpet. My partner and I have no pets or children, so we chose a cream-colored carpet. Only the bedrooms and living room are carpeted, leaving the kitchen, dining room, bar, and everywhere else for shoes and food. You would not believe how difficult it can be to get people to respect this rule. Story 15. Always close the sliding patio door and front door. Cats like to wander, and we have a lot of wildlife around us. We have reminded several visitors a few times, but everyone has been very respectful. Story 16. It is my home, and you will be respectful while in it in every way. If you disrespect me or my home, you will be asked to leave. Story 17. Don't bring a graphing calculator, throw it in the toilet, try to flush it, find that it doesn't go through, try feeding it to the dog, discover that it isn't dumb, mash it up and give half to the dog in a pile of meat and the other half through the toilet. Accidentally flood the house and kill the dog, not the other way around. Not based on a real story. Story 18. If you take the last one in the box or container, you must immediately replenish it. No excuses. Story 19. We are currently experiencing this situation as my brother-in-law is trying to move to the state where my wife and I live. We created a list, but the most important point for me is to clean up after oneself and avoid making a mess in shared areas. He can do whatever he wants in his room, but we maintain a clean house, and I do not want to be cleaning up after an adult. Story 20. Don't try to clean my kitchen or dishes. I appreciate your desire to help, but your efforts are not effective, and I will have to redo everything. Story 21. Don't eat the last of my leftovers I was saving for dinner, Eric. Now I have to make something else or go out to eat. Story 22. I thought it would be best to not let the cat out until someone stayed with me who flushed half a roll of paper towels, causing us to buy a professional-grade auger and go on the roof every day to use it. Therefore, not flushing paper towels is just as important as not letting the cat out. Satai. Story 23. They should not have anything mailed or shipped to my residential address. No mail. Story 24. You eat with your mouth closed. You turn off any keyboard noises on your phone. No one needs to hear every letter clicking. If you smoke, take a 5-minute walk before coming back into my house. When I say, make yourself at home, it means make yourself feel comfortable. Don't ask for anything. It gets annoying. If I ask what you want for dinner, I'm asking for suggestions to please you. Saying I'm easy, anything does not help. In fact, it is not being easy. You know what's easier than saying that? Anything. I frequently find myself on both sides of the situation. I have people at my home for a few weeks, and I stay with others for around a month at a time. Believe me, if I'm told, make yourself at home, I will do just that. Just don't complain when I'm standing with the fridge door open while only wearing your wife's underwear. Story 25:1. Do not be mean to my animals. Do not smoke or vape in my house. No illegal substances or firearms on my property. No underage children. Story 26. Don't slam the door. For Christ's sake. Use the handle. Seriously, I don't understand why so many people can't just use the handle. It's not a huge effort or waste of time. Still, almost all my guests, family and friends just pull the door without pressing the handle down. It's so elementary. Story 27. Leave it the way you found it. Do not leave items out that I have to put away for you. Do not leave the toilet seat up if you find it down. Story 28. Don't touch my oven. I am tired of resetting it because some visitor decided to be helpful and turned the dials. I have turned the oven to what I thought was the on position, waited for it to warm up, only to find later that it has been set to some weird mode and is off. Late dinner for everyone. Just leave my oven alone. It was even worse in one rental property where the oven dial was broken, making it impossible to tell whether the oven was on or off, or in some other mode. Once I got it set to off, I could then figure out where the dial should be for on, grill, or something else. Some visitor being helpful turned the dial again, and it took me ages to get it turned off. Just leave my oven alone. Story 29. Do not go into my room, do not touch my belongings, and do not eat my food. Additionally, do not stay here for long. I do not like people in my house. Story 30. Don't get drunk and wander around the house trying to find the bathroom. I'm just saying that guy doesn't come around much anymore. Story 31. This is a 2-for-1. You must put the lid down after using the toilet, or the cat will go swimming. Please remember to wash your hands afterward. If you don't wash your hands, you cannot stay, even if it means sleeping outside in a blizzard. It's important to maintain cleanliness. Story 32. If I bought it, please don't take the last of it. Leave me enough milk for cereal, some chips, or laundry detergent. I don't mind if you take some, but nothing irritates me more than wanting something just to see someone who didn't buy it take the last of it. Story 33. I refuse to work for my family. It's strange when you have money. Cousin Joe won't be my boss, but I will assist, volunteer, and do anything I can. Story 34. Do not use my yellow scrub sponges to clean the burnt residue from pans. The green scrubbing pads and the brush are for that purpose. The sponges are meant for the final stage of washing the pre-scrubbed pans before leaving them to dry. Story 35. Do not go through my private things. There is no reason for you to come into my room and look through my wardrobe or drawers, or read my diary. Also, do not throw my things away. I do not care what reasons you might have. If it is not yours, leave it. In summary, do not touch my belongings without explicit permission. Story 36. If you want something, ask me first. Most times I will say yes, but that shouldn't give you the right to just take whatever you want. It also allows me to keep track of what I have left. Story 37. Don't touch my belly button. I will become extremely upset. Aside from that, any other rule would probably fall under common courtesy. Story 38. I had one rude house guest too many, and I won't ever do it again. I would rather put someone up in a hotel or motel. If someone is allowing you to stay in their house as a favor, don't be an entitled person. Yes, it was that bad of an experience. Story 39. No excessive noise. I need my silence. You can watch television, listen to your music, or play games, but not all day. At certain times, you need to put on your headphones and give me my silence. Story 40. Don't let the cat outside. Anything else I can forgive, but if my cat escapes, there will be consequences. Story 41. Please clean up after yourself. I am already a messy person and do not want to check after you too. Story 42. Do not upset my wife. I am not sure how that can be avoided, so it may be wise to consider alternative housing during your stay. Story 43. Poop goes in the toilet, no exceptions. When I was a teenager, a relative came to stay with us for about a month. She was a very large woman and couldn't get up the stairs, so the only bathroom she could use was the tiny downstairs half bath. After a few days, I noticed a strange stain on the wall opposite the toilet and couldn't figure out what it was. Finally, I asked my dad and he came to investigate. He immediately identified it by smell as feces. Apparently, she wasn't wiping properly, so when she turned around in that small bathroom to flush the toilet, she left marks on the wall behind her. As a result of my discovery, it became my job to clean it up. I was in there every day for most of the month with an old toothbrush scrubbing stains off the wall. So, rule number 1 in any situation is that poop goes in the toilet, no exceptions. Now that I am an adult, I have the authority to enforce that rule. If I find your waste anywhere but the toilet, you will be confined to that room until it is resolved. Story 44. I will never let someone stay with me temporarily again. However, that rule would include no smoking of any kind in my house. I was shocked by the number of burn marks I found and the cleanup I had to do. I was surprised he didn't burn my house down. Story 45. Under no circumstances does anyone use my bed except me. You can use any other place. I don't mind. However, do not use my bed. Story 46. Don't be loud past 10 p.m. Under no circumstances should men use my bathroom without cleaning the toilet seat afterward. If I find any urine on the seat, I will either ask you to leave or impose a fine of $50 for each violation of this basic rule. Story 47. No young children, no chewing or smoking tobacco, and no entering my room or touching my 37 porcelain dolls. Story 48. Never stepped over my boundaries. The next thing they might ask is what my boundaries are. I will send them a list. Story 49. Never go in the basement, no matter what you may hear. What is actually down there? Nothing, I just want the question to haunt them. Story 50. No kids, no pets, no overnight guests. I don't think I've ever had anyone stay at my place for more than one night. Those nights were sleepovers when I was a kid. I value my privacy. Story 51. Don't get on my nerves. There's a holiday in a few miles from here in case you do get on my nerves. Story 52. If you're hungry, help yourself to whatever you want. If you're thirsty, get any drink you desire. However, if you use the last of something, please let me know so I can restock. Also, if you are a 55-year-old uncle of mine attending my cousin's wedding, those rusk biscuits are for the baby and are exempt from the help yourself rule. Take what you want, but please give me a heads up if you use all the milk. Story 53. Don't mess with my sleep schedule. You can borrow my things, eat my snacks, and take long showers, But if you wake me up for no reason, we have a problem. Story 54. My kids and my bedroom are off limits. Always. Except if you are invited for any reason, you must stay out. Story 55. Do not make their safe space unsafe. Do not invite people over, do not steal, lock the door when you go out, and do not act in ways that change their living aesthetic. Story 56. We have a dishwasher. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware go in there. When it is full, we start it. Story 57. Not the number 1 rule, but I haven't seen this mentioned yet. Do not park in my driveway. My truck is in the garage, and if I can't access my garage because your car is in the way, I will be upset. Story 58. After 9 o'clock, no one is ever out of bed. Use a bidet to clean yourself after using the bathroom. Never interrupt internet or computer time. Mom is the boss in the house. Never talk back to your sister or brother. Never eat eggs or chicken unless you really need to reduce your intake of other meats. Never eat fish in the house or anything besides beef. Story 59. Don't expect me to hold your hand every second. I have my own schedule and will not be available all day. Story 60. Do not park your car in the middle of my driveway, preventing others from accessing their garages. Story 61. For the love of all that is good, please clean up after yourself. Do not leave used cups, plates, bowls, or anything similar lying around. Do not leave your laundry scattered everywhere. Please do not make a mess of my home as if you do not care about your surroundings. The people I have seen who do not seem to care about being messy are beyond my understanding. Story 62. Don't feed my animals, harass them, or be rude to them. Do not open my bird's cage, African gray. She will bite you and then laugh at you. That will be a tough situation. Don't insult my ball python just because he's a snake. I've raised him since he was a hatchling in 2014, and he's incredibly sweet and charming. If you touch my tortoise or my bearded dragon without my permission, I will be very upset. I don't care if you're not a cat person. Don't speak poorly about them or try to let them outside. Don't feed my dogs food from your plate. I don't care if your dogs eat it at home. Mine do not. Don't touch my paintings. I am an artist and sell my work, and I don't want people touching them. Also, please refrain from making rude comments about their value. Additionally, stop asking me to give you my work for free. Do not go into my home gym or personal training studio and start playing on the equipment. Control your kids. Story 63. Don't disturb my perfectly organized mess. I know it looks chaotic, but this way I know exactly where everything is. Story 64. If you use my things, please return them to the same place after you are done. I do not want to ask you where you have kept them when I need to use them. Also, please wash the dishes instead of leaving them lying around or in the sink for hours. Story 65. Do not search through my personal belongings and post on social media to mock them. I have experienced this before. Story 66. Recently, a friend stayed with me and expected me to pay for meals and activities for 4 days. I didn't know what to say or do, and I still don't. Story 67. If you steal from me, know that I am changing the locks without returning any of your belongings. Story 68. I wouldn't let them stay here. I'd rather help them pay for a motel or maybe sleep on the couch at most. I just don't want anyone touching or stealing my belongings. Story 69. My pets have free reign of the house. I don't lock them in or out of rooms, and the cats are not allowed outside. Story 70. Please take off your shoes indoors, clean your dirty dishes, and dispose of your rubbish in the bin. Ask for permission before inviting anyone over, even if it's your mother. Keep the noise down after 11 p.m. and be respectful. Story 71. Make sure it's only temporary. I don't want to end up needing to evict you because you overstayed your welcome. Story 72. Please put the toilet seat down when you are finished. I am blind and do not want to fall in again because I could not see that it was down. Story 73. Don't touch my tiaras. I have a collection of tiaras and crowns that are very precious to me and somewhat fragile. If anyone ever touches one of my tiaras and accidentally breaks it, I will kick them out. Story 74. No touching my sword. It's for me to lend to people for doing minor favors for me. Like this time, a woman gave me one of the last of her ring pops, and it was strawberry flavored. She definitely had my sword. Wait, forget it. You know what I mean. Story 75. You cannot bring a specific item into the house that I am highly allergic to, whether as food or as a scent. Artificial is fine. Natural is not. I value my ability to breathe. One of my flatmates was informed of this and agreed to it before I moved in, but somehow believed it would be acceptable to keep the allergen in their room. This led to extremely unpleasant results. Story 76. The number one rule is respecting personal space and privacy. If you are staying at my place, it is important to remember that we all need our alone time. Story 77. Don't run the dryer and then leave the house. I feel very paranoid. It stresses me out. Additionally, please turn off the bathroom fan when you are not using it. Story 78. Just ask before going somewhere I haven't shown you or using something. A friend moved a table from a corner and ruined a project I had been working on for weeks. Story 79. Have a plan. If you are staying with me until you get a job, finish school, find an apartment, or reconcile with your spouse, it should appear that you are working daily toward that goal. You should incorporate evidence of your efforts into our conversations, such as, I have been on the phone all day setting up interviews. I have 3 scheduled for tomorrow. If you spend all day playing video games and do not make progress toward your goal, the situation may deteriorate. Clean up after yourself. Clean the kitchen, tidy the bathroom, organize the living room, and keep the floor clear in the space that you have been given. Maintain normal schedules. Do not stay up all night if your host has a day job. Story 80. No strangers. Do your own laundry. Clean up after yourself. And please put the seat down if you value your life, as my wife will kick you down the stairs if you don't. Story 81. Don't use my towels when you have intimacy. This is from a new roommate I had after my ex and I split. She would sleep with a different person every other night and use my nice new towels to clean up. Story 82. The children come first. Anything that would jeopardize their happiness or well-being is not allowed. If you want to drink alcohol or smoke, please do it elsewhere. The children also eat first. If for some reason there isn't enough food to go around, adults can handle that better. Story 83. No one is allowed in the house if I do not know them personally. I already have anxiety and trust issues. If I am putting my faith in you by letting you stay, I do not want random visitors without notice. Story 84. I have 2 from the same stay of the same guest. Please do not rearrange the furniture in the guest room. We have it set up that way for a reason. Also, please do not use my decorative monogrammed white kitchen towels as a coffee filter. Story 85. No smoking inside the house, especially no cannabis. Do not enter my bedroom. Do not leave the back door open without being in the same room. The neighborhood cats are very adventurous. I know this is more than one, but I would say these are the 3 most important ones for me. Story 86. The pets live here. You do not, so do not push my cats off the couch. You can push the dog off, but be careful. If you push him instead of giving him the floor command, it will be a fun game for him. Story 87. Do not touch my Ouija boards. They have nothing to do with evil or magic. I understand that people are fascinated by them, but they are expensive antiques. Collect them. Please do not try to contact Granny on my 120-year-old William Full board. Instead, go to Walmart and grab a Hasbro. Also, do not let the lizards out. Story 88. No shoes in the house. Anyone staying with me would definitely know that there is absolutely no smoking indoors. Story 89. The gate must remain closed at all times, except when entering or leaving the property. No excuses, no exceptions. Story 90. Temporary means temporary. My sister refused to move out of my apartment for 3 years because she couldn't keep a job. I eventually terminated my lease and moved to encourage her to leave. Story 91. Expect me to offer you something just a couple of times, and then I will direct you to the fridge and the necessary items in the kitchen. If you refuse to help yourself at that point, You may end up thirsty or hungry. Story 92. Don't abuse my kindness. I have helped friends who have taken advantage of me. They take whatever they can because they know I dislike saying no. Food starts to go missing without asking, including personal snacks and expensive items. Chargers and toiletries also disappear. Things get stolen. Then, when they leave, I don't hear anything from them. Story 93. I had a friend stay who would just wander around in his underwear. Yes, you can do that in your own house, but not in someone else's. It freaked me out because it wasn't just a quick trip to the bathroom. Thinking no one was watching, he was just sitting in the lounge, having coffee and watching TV. The same guy got drunk by himself and didn't even bother to take the bottles to the recycling bin. The bottles literally filled my entire countertop. He also had pizza and threw the empty boxes on my floor. I have 2 dogs, so they thought it was a party. The next day, I texted him on my way to work to let him know he wasn't welcome back. My partner thought this was minimal, but I didn't. So, being clothed, picking up your rubbish, and not making a mess should be common sense. Story 94. If you have to smoke meth, just hide it from me. I know, it's a bizarre rule as one really should have a strict no meth in my house rule. But I have a sister who has struggled with a meth habit for 30 years, and about 20 years ago, I made a deal with her. I told her that I would never ask about it or judge her for it. Just hide it from me like I'm one of the kids because I don't want to see it. She's been somewhat open about the times when she quits, and I love knowing that she tries. I'm pretty sure she's done a lot of work on it and made significant progress over the years, but I know she's never fully kicked the habit. She's more of a functional addict. She works for a living, brushes her teeth, sleeps at night, and has no trouble with the law. She's a good girl, and I love her so much. I live far away, but my home is always open to her. She's visited me a few times, and I've visited her as well. So, I have one crazy rule for one special person. Other than that, my home is a strict no meth zone. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.